Coming from us to you, welcome back. Today is Wednesday, May 3rd, and the boys are fresh off the fishing trip and a week off, so we are ready to podcast.
WMT.
Yeah, sorry we missed you guys last week, but we appreciate the views we've been getting on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify and Apple. We're also there for your long car rides and while you're working on Fridays, dropping on Fridays. We're doing our best. Today we have our lovely boy, Spencer Runs here.
The one and only.
Friend of the pod very own.
One of a kind. He's going to be hanging out with us for this episode. So
Thanks for having me, boys. Thanks for having me.
thanks for coming, man. We've been trying to get it going for a while. Glad it worked out this time, and we're all linked up and we're together, and we're going to create some special juices together.
Cut this man off. Cut him off.
Yeah, I'm going to cut myself off. But yeah, should we dive into Weema Talk?
Yeah, I think we're going to go over Weema Talk, recap the draft quickly,
Mm-hmm.
kind of go into some random tidbits after that, but we do have a schedule lined up for you guys, so yeah, other than that, we could jump right into Weema Talk. Other than
your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts at home.
Buckle
It's
up.
going to be a wild ride.
I think maybe just quickly point out at the time of the recording, we are currently watching New Jersey against the Carolina Hurricanes, and as far as I'm concerned, big Jets fan,
Devils.
big Devils fan.
Is this
over
game
here.
one?
This is game one. Game one. I've got them to win the series 4-2 or 4-3.
Ooh,
So,
plenty of room there.
and then we got the Celtics playing the Sixers tonight. Sixers are up 1-0, and they didn't have Embiid. So, a lot unraveling tonight. We got the Warriors-Lakers game tomorrow. So, just a great week of sports. More to come on that, but yeah, buckle your seatbelts.
Buckle up.
Weema Talk was great to us. It was another great trip, but we had to get our hands dirty this time to have some success.
Man's work. For those of you who don't know, Weema Talk is this nice little honeypot south of southern Illinois.
Just southwest of Peoria.
Yep.
We've been ramped up talking about it the last few weeks. So if you're a new listener, as Yaz was saying, it's our fishing trip that the boys go on every year.
Yeah, it was delectable. But just like Randall said, we had some tough times. Weather wasn't really permitting at times, but we trucked through. It was good and bad. A lot more crappie this year. Spencer, do you like crappie? Or are you a crappieist?
King crappie.
Some call me the crappie killer. Just kidding.
Killer.
But yeah, great trip. Was not for the faint of heart this year. That's for sure. Really a grind through those, through that, day and a half, through those, but worth every minute of it.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a good count. We didn't really
settle up.
it.
Yeah, we didn't settle up on the final count.
I'd imagine somewhere near 100.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I pulled out more fish Sunday than I did on Saturday because I had massive line issues on.
Oh yeah,
on
you were
Saturday.
having technical
I lost
difficulties.
4 lures just throwing my line off.
Yeah,
And-
I did lose one Sunday doing that, so I don't blame you. Like
Couple barley-
it happens.
Couple barley sodas in,
Yeah.
2, 3, 11, 12. You kind of tie your knots incorrectly at that point, but we had fun, caught a lot of fish. I think I came out less than 20. I think so.
Yeah, but
Think so.
quality was there. Big crappie. I mean, it seemed to be the crappie were spawning.
I got a nice crappie, and I got that nice bass Sunday morning.
You had solid fish.
That was my recap. I had 2 really solid guys, and then some struggles throughout. But there were at times toss your lure in immediately, you get a hit. But then there'd be times where we'd go an hour without one.
Yeah.
But then you could get 2 in a row, and then maybe an hour. It was different than it has been, but that kind of added a new element to it.
For sure. Yeah, it definitely makes you want to get out there more the rest of the summer. Like I feel like the job's not done.
I know.
Well-
Yeah, it was definitely like a game of runs. Like you'd go on, catch like 6 fish in,
Totally.
like 30 minutes, and then you'd go an hour and a half, nothing, then catch,
Couple.
10 fish, and then, that first afternoon, it's like you get that rush, that first,
my
like when
God.
you get out there and get going and you're catching fish, and then, like Randy said, you start drinking 10, 12 beers. Next thing you know, you're just not casting as much. You're
You're
really
tangled in the weeds a little bit more. Your
Yep.
accuracy's off.
Yeah.
Your back is starting to hurt after sitting in the canoe for a good 6-hour paddle.
Yep. Yeah.
The wind is just brutal, but that's just part of the game. We had a blast. We actually had some shirt off weather
Yeah, briefly. Did anybody else? Oh, Carter took his shirt
We
off,
briefly had some shirt off weather, catch a tan. It was rainy when we got in, and then we knew it would clear up. It sure did.
Yeah.
They knew the boys were in town, and then it got sunny, and then the coldness held off most of the night, and the wind at the peninsula at our campsite where we stay, it's windy every year. Every year it's extremely windy. This year it wasn't.
Yeah, it was
too
only
bad.
slightly windy.
We actually had the fire going, the best we've had in the last 3 years. I'm
For sure. Yeah, it was nice. We were all sitting on one side of the campfire because there still was wind, but
Yeah, a little bit of wind.
It was tolerable. Yeah. There's just nothing more demoralizing. Like several times throughout the trip, fucking Carter, who like doesn't fish in his first year
We
there,
had a
was
hell
like,
of a weekend.
yeah, I was like, come fish over here, man. Like I've gotten 3 in the last 5 minutes, and I'm like, God damn it, dude, I'm striking out left and right.
He had a hell of a weekend in terms of catching. You know,
Yeah.
some say beginner's luck. I think Carter likes to say skill. But that I'm proud of him.
I'm glad he definitely caught more than me. He was more proficient than I was. But yeah, like the anxiety just kicks in. Like, God damn it, everybody else is catching. Like, what am I doing wrong?
I think Carter might be a natural angler.
He could be. He definitely could
He's
be.
a natural at everything he does.
He got the only sunfish of the trip. Did anybody else get a sunfish?
I
saw
think I
his.
was with Devin. He caught 2.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, one nice one. He's like, "Oh, big fish!" and then he reels it up. Oh, just bluegill, just
Hell of a
bluegill.
fight.
They do fight, dude. I was talking to good old Rick, and he's
Slick
like,
Rick.
he's like, those panfish, man, they fight like they're 6-pounders. I'm like, I know. He got really hyped up on it.
So when you said sunfish, I know that
Oh,
sunfish and bluegill are like
Sorry.
one, two, and one.
I
and the
think
same.
sunfish is the umbrella of panfish. So like crappie is technically a
Yeah,
sunfish too.
yeah.
I should have said
Bluegill.
I should have said bluegill.
Okay,
Did Did Devin get bluegill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
two
I
bluegill,
caught
that's
I
what I
caught
was
2
going with.
bluegill, both real small. I
Nice.
hate catching bluegill
They're sharp, dude. They
because
hurt.
like a lot of times you have to comb the fish, and then they have much smaller mouths.
Yeah.
Obviously, so
That's when you gotta gill 'em.
usually we use a lot of the time our lures are like we use a lot of rooster tails. We will use some spinner bait, but a lot of meps out at this lake. And there's 3 hooks on.
treble hook, baby.
It's a treble hook on a meps. When you catch the bluegill, smaller mouths, smaller fish, usually you have 2 to 3 of the treble hooks in its mouth. So not only do you have to comb it over, but you really have to get in there and fuck with it. And
Yeah.
you can't just lip the bass.
Yeah.
That's why we're out there.
Yeah, because like it takes one jostle and then you have a hook in your thumb. And
Yeah,
you're like,
it's
God
annoying.
damn it,
And then you
dude."
get spiked.
Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, I definitely went overboard with the new skill I found. It's quote unquote skill, just like gilling them. But like I was unnecessarily gilling fish for no reason.
Wait, how do you get like a bluegill?
Just like any fish, you just put your fingers in their like gills.
Oh
You stick 'em up,
see,
you like stick them up the side.
yeah, I might still be just too bit of a pussy to do that.
It's weird. I definitely have to like not think about it because you like if you look at gills, they're
Yeah, it's
gross
gross.
looking.
But we're out there to have fun, get dirty, get our hands dirty.
Yeah.
So I need to do that next year.
Yeah, me and Spencer woke up dirty with mustard all over ourselves.
Dude, might have missed the hot dog, putting the mustard on the hot dog and just put it all over my sweatshirt.
I had it all over mine too. I got it out actually.
Nice.
So the stains came out in my angler jersey, my angler shirt.
That was a nice jersey, by the way.
Stains came out, but after I washed that bad boy, damn, it smelled like campfire.
Dude,
It's already in my dirty clothes for round 2.
you had a good call texting the other day about saying your phone smelled like bonfire. Because
Yep.
I would like make a call and I'm like, what the fuck? And I
Yep.
realized like a day later my phone stank.
Yeah, so I'm glad I called that out. So I was like, is it just me? Hopefully
that
someone
was-
else. This relates to camping in general, not just the fishing trip. But when you go camping, your sweatshirt smells like campfire for a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Or until you wash it a couple times. I kept smelling campfire on my hand when I'm working Monday. I think it got to Tuesday, I think. And I was like, why do I keep smelling that? Like I washed my hair a couple times. I'm in clean clothes. And I realized it kept coming from my hand. And then I
Yeah.
smelled my phone case. Phone case just smells like a campfire. So it took me a couple days to realize where that was coming from, but I'm glad it happened to a couple other people too.
It gets everywhere, man. Yeah. It was funny. Like when we're cooking up dogs or whatever, I'm like, I'm going to put some mustard on it. And I take a bite. I'm like, that's pretty weak mustard. And it just never got on the hot dog. It's just all over my fucking shirt. Oh man, but that was cool.
It was dark. The boys were saucy, and we were getting blown around by the wind. You can't expect the ketchup or the mustard to hit your dog.
Low key, one of the highlights of the trip though may have been the toasted Uncrustable.
Yeah!
People were sleeping on it. Next thing we know, we look at Mitch over there. He's got him sitting on the
log, sitting on the rock,
sitting on the rock, getting all nice and toasty.
That was a good call, I will say.
Yeah, that was a nice special. Just taking the Uncrustable and getting a nice toasty coating on that bad boy.
So we do live a little archaic out there. Typically it's a one night trip for us. So we don't bring an elaborate dinner spread per se, and we fish. I mean, from what? Sometimes we get there at 9 a.m. We're fishing until the sun goes down, coming back to base camp once. So in previous years, we've actually made a step up. In previous years, we've had a lower spread than we had this year. Sometimes we're just spooning potato salad right out at the cup.
Totally underprepared.
Just, underprepared, trying to eat anything we can. We had plenty of food this year.
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, we had a good amount. I mean, we smacked cookies.
The cookies nuts
always
come.
And legumes. We ate so many legumes.
There's a couple traditional foods at this point. We should have brought the potato salad this year.
Dude, I fucking hate potato salad. I only ate it the year one to like survive. Dude, I hated it.
Couldn't eat hot dogs again.
Oh man. Jersey goal. Let's go,
Jersey
baby.
goal.
Not a Jersey goal. Fuck me.
Hurricanes, baby.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I like strictly for survival. I had to eat it year one. But yeah,
you got me. I thought you liked it.
I mean, I don't know.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I couldn't let my spirit break. I needed a spirit boost there. But yeah, the food was good this year. We had cookies. We were toasting cookies, getting them melty.
We toasted just about everything we brought.
And I feel like we showed up just a tad bit later this year.
We did.
And, we was able to eat that late breakfast and kind of just have that one, snagged a little sandwich from the gas station. Shout out Wally's.
Wally's. Basically, America's supermarket gas station, I would say.
If you're taking a road trip through the Midwest, you have to stop at Wally's.
Yeah.
It's kind of the real deal.
I would say, smack dab about 20 miles northwest of Bloomington, I think, or it's between Bloomington and Peoria, one of the two. But if you're traveling across one of the central states, check it out.
We should get sponsored by them.
Yeah, Wally's would probably first podcast sponsor.
Fuck it.
Do it right next to that Winnebago. Do an episode right next to the Winnebago.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Yeah, what else about Weematuck was special this year?
Oh, you got to give a shout out to the dairy treat. Always coming in clutch.
Always hit that on the way out.
Yeah, exactly. They don't judge us for smelling like campfire, having hot dogs, mustard all over our sweatshirts,
smelling like
they'll still feed the boys afterwards after a long day and a half of fishing.
It's just nice to go. So there's this place in Canton, Illinois. Shout out Canton, and we hit this spot. It's a pretty local, prominent spot every time on our way out of town after the fishing trip.
Kind of like your local ice cream place, that you feel like that opens up in Memorial Day, closes down Labor Day.
Every
like
hometown
the local
has
spot.
one.
Yeah,
every home. Shout out Ritter's in Greenwood.
Shout out Zestos.
Shout out Stags. R.I.P. Miss you, love you, baby. For sale if anyone's out there looking to buy an ice cream shop.
So yeah, we hit Dairy Dream. I just kind of think it's we get chicken fingers, burgers, chili dogs, whatever, and their ice cream's great. Lemon milkshake is their specialty.
Yeah,
but I just think
Voss
nice.
tells us so.
It's nice just to get.
I don't know if it's even that good, but I feel like Voss makes us get it.
It's nice to just get warm food.
For sure.
Because there's been one year where it was pretty hot the whole time, but both other years it's 50. Kind of cloudy,
and you're wet.
You're wet after you just slept in a tent or in a pop-up camper. Excuse me, and you're just ready for some hot ready food.
Absolutely,
that you didn't make yourself.
No, that spot's. I mean, let's be honest. The food is not great.
Oh, it's freezer. It's freezer food.
It does the job.
But it's 5 minutes. It's 10 minutes away from the spot. It's ready in 5 minutes. You sit outside.
Good.
Yeah, the ice cream's fire.
I like the lemon shake.
Lemon shake's good. I got a peanut butter this year, and it had chunks of peanuts in it.
Yeah, I think that was good.
Pleasantly surprised. It was very lovely. What was I going to say, though? Oh, the pop-up camper. So our sleeping conditions this year, we had Devin, who had a double wide macro sized tent that could fit.
I'd say
It had a breezeway. It had a breezeway.
It literally had a porch. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I would say it was an eight man for sure.
Yeah, and like leading up to it, he's like, "Yeah, I'm bringing my tent. It's 2-person." I'm like, "What are you talking? Okay, cool. That's a good size. Like, we fit some people in there." Yeah, but I gotta get my my full size Tempur-Pedic mattress filled in there. Like, I couldn't believe the setup he was. Did he blow up his full size mattress?
So I think it was a mattress cover. Yeah, topper, which was clutch because then it rolled up nice and small for the the ride there.
That I can respect. I can respect a topper for sure. But yeah, it was funny. He got the whole crib to himself. I mean, fuck it. Then Carter slept in the Jeep.
Yeah, classic.
That's what I did
a
last
classic
year.
first trip. You're not. He was a little underprepared, like my first trip. I remember my first trip. Yeah, Mitch said, "Oh yeah, I got a camper." My mom and dad have a camper back home, and kind of have it stocked up with everything. So I'm expecting I don't need to bring blankets, pillow. Brought an extra pair. Change of clothes. That was about it, and rolled up there, and I sat down, and I was like. I'm using my backpack and a pillow and my extra coat as a blanket. And I was the last one up too. Akers was already in bed, and
I forgot.
The only blanket I had that night was the old bottle of Jack Daniels getting me through.
I felt bad. You also got where did you sleep? Were you sleeping on?
He got his prime spot.
No,
again.
that is the worst. It's on top. Listen to this. It's on top of a kitchen table. It folds down. The chairs and the table folds down into kind of a half-ass bed.
Everyone knows if you've been in a pop-up or an RV, it's you fold the table down. It becomes a makeshift bed.
Yeah.
The end of the night might have been a tad fuzzy for me, but I think I might have offered you one of the 2 years. Laying next to Yaza on one end of the camper, and you said no, I'll sleep here.
Smart
move.
move.
Now that I had a blanket and a pillow, it's it's a different story. But that's not one of the spots that you want to be. It's not the spot that you want without a blanket and a pillow. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
The end of the night was very foggy. I don't remember falling asleep, and I wake up. Obviously, the strange place thing. I'm like, okay, I'm in a camper, and I look over to my right. I'm stretching out. I'm like, oh god damn, I got this whole spot.
Is this the next morning?
Like middle of the night, maybe 3 a.m. Okay. And I'm like, oh, fuck, someone's there. And I look, and I'm like, oh, Devin's there. I looked at you, Randall. Randall was sleeping next to me. I was like, oh, that's Devin. Wake up again, like a couple hours later. I'm like, fucking Devin, dude. Like, he's getting a little close over here, like scooting towards me. And then I wake up, like, terminally at like 7:30 or 8, whatever I got up.
It was probably like 6:30.
Oh, fuck, dude. Like, that's Randall right there. I was so confused. And of course, there's like beer spilled all over the tabletop. I hope Tom wasn't pissed.
Tom knows that. He said he's about to get rid of it.
Really?
Yeah, he said he's going to upgrade to like something a little nicer. I think he said.
See, he doesn't. He said him and his buddies they come up the next weekend following us usually, and they're on year number 37.
God damn, dude.
That's so sick.
That's fucking awesome, man.
It's going to be us in 30 years.
40 years.
30, 40 years.
Wait, I thought you said year 33.
37.
Oh,
37.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Damn, that's going to be nuts.
Run the replay.
We're back.
37.
We're going to be running this back for 30 plus more years, and I'm stoked about it.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Or until Voss cuts us off, one of the two.
So is that cousin, like side note here, that cousin, is that Tom's kid?
Yep, exactly. He goes to school at ISU.
He's in college still?
Yep.
So he's going to start. We're going to have to compete for him for optimal weekends.
I think we could take him.
There's only a few optimal weekends to go down there in the spring.
I know. You're looking at like a small window of 3 weekends, basically. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully. I mean, I would feel that he gets priority. Sounds like he does work there.
Yeah, that's where he left college to go do work. But I didn't see him doing much.
College?
Or not like left college, but left. ISU's not very far away.
We passed it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He left for that weekend to go, and he stayed with the old guys in the big cabin.
He did stay over there?
Yeah.
Nice. Probably sucking down that liquor we provided him.
Exactly. He left those beers though. We needed.
That was nice.
Yeah, we needed the extra beers. That's for sure. We were about 16, 18 beers too few, but this boy came in clutch.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he drop off for us?
The Budweiser.
All those Budweisers.
But heavies.
Oh, those heavies.
Diesel fuel.
Damn. So because I was drinking a few of those Sunday morning, we would have ran dry, huh?
We had like 6 hidden in a Yeti.
Yeah,
we were literally 6 beers
clearing
away
out
from
clearing
drunk.
out the coolers when after getting dropped off.
The Twisted
I think
Teas.
there was probably 6 to 8 Twisted Teas, and then 2 to 3 Busch Lights, and then 2 to 3 Budweisers left. So
Official
we
count.
Yeah, we were right there at the end.
We were flirting with danger, baby.
I was worried when we drank through a case and 2 cases in a matter of.
Well, and then the bottle disappeared in like 30 minutes of
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah, we also started
Everybody
finding
started throwing it away.
Yeah, there are boys are scared of a little bug and ash and mosquitoes and bonfire in their whiskey and tossed it all.
Devin's like throwing his entire glass of whiskey. I'm like, dude, he goes, shut the hell up. I thought you were a pyromaniac. I'm like, it's not about the fire, dude. We're limited supply out here, man.
Devin was also just throwing everything into the fire. You know,
Yeah.
he was eating,
Classic.
just throwing the beer can in there. I'm like, Devin, what are you doing? He's
Classic middle school mentality. It's like everything burns, baby. No, I
like, shout out Pyros.
love them. Shout out to the Pyros. I'm definitely one at heart. I gotta definitely.
Also, shout out Gambling Addicts, aka Devin. This crazy son of a bitch
do?
decided the night before the trip, we were all out drinking, eating some pizza before we
Oh,
left,
yeah.
and there was a joke thrown around. Hey, should we go to the casino? And once he heard that word casino, he was not stopping until he got there. And so we all leave, go back home, go to bed, get ready, wake up that next morning at about 5 o'clock,
5:45
5:30, 5:45, and look at our group message, and you see at 3:45, Devin posted a photo of him, a selfie of him slamming a Bud Light right next to the blackjack
On the
table.
floor, on the casino
not
floor.
good, not good.
Oh, Carolina.
So yeah, we have like about 45 messages between us for the next hour, coordinating pickups and stuff. Devin doesn't respond.
No word of Devin. Is he
Radio
alive?
silence.
Is he still at the casino? Do we have to make a pit stop because he just won 10K?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that.
No.
I was hoping that was the case, but yeah, he picked up like when we were picking you up in the canoe, and he's like, I'm like, hey Dev. He's like, and I'm like, yo, dude, be ready. Like Carter's there. He's picking you up. He's like, what time? I'm like, dude, it's like not speaking English. I was actually nervous. He was like roofied or something. But it's not. Yeah, we got him safe and sound. Popped the old Schedule 1 Addy, bro, and he was good to go.
Yeah, prescription.
Maybe cut that out.
He maybe went to bed for 30 minutes and kind of woke up and answered the phone call, and
He got some good sleep.
He did get 3-hour trip. I would say at least 2.5 hours. I would say maybe 2 hours. He was KO'd in the back. Every time we looked back, saw a video. I was in car number 1. He was in car 2, but
car 2 for the win.
he had the old toboggan pulled over his head, and
Classic move.
he had a good setup. It looked like in the back though.
He got his rest in. He triumphed, and the boy was with us the whole weekend. Boy came out hard.
He definitely was out
Fished
hard.
well.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I think, speaking of car number 1, car number 2, boat number 1, we took the old, I guess we'll call it friendly wager. It was me, Voss, and I think Devin.
Oh yeah.
Or me, Voss, and Carter.
Yep.
Me, Voss, and Carter.
And then me, Spence, Devin.
Yeah, we took you guys down.
We had the lead for a decent amount of
But we
time.
also,
and you
like,
pulled out a whomper.
It was also an unofficial tally. I think we kind
Yeah,
of
a
went
lot of-
off field. We didn't really on Saturday evening fishing. It was tough. Like,
This is interesting. This is
This is-
development.
did you
This
guys
is
have
new.
a final number?
Oh! I thought you meant you were just eyeballing fish lengths.
It's just like,
yeah, that's 18.
I feel like we never, because we were doing the length, and like I actually tossed one out on accident before measuring
crappie.
it.
I heard it. We were there.
The big
We heard
crappie.
it.
Yeah. So like,
Fox goes, "Oh, you didn't measure it,
8-incher. Yeah.
dude. It counted. We were in the lead for a while with my 8-inch bass for a long time, and then you guys took the lead towards the end. Good win though. Good win.
Good trip.
We're going to have to play euchre over that money. Although I think I paid Voss back. But yeah, all in all, it was a good trip.
Great trip, man. We had a lot of fun. I feel like this year it might have just went a little too quickly.
It felt
Yeah.
so quick. Dude, Voss said the best thing I've ever heard in my life, though. Like, you were in the car, Spence. He goes, yeah, I don't know. I think next year we should definitely think about going down Friday.
Yes.
I said,
Yeah.
yes, please. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. I did a whole Hail Mary.
Maybe stay at the local Holiday Inn the night one.
Fuck it.
Hit the local
But
watering
like we're
hole.
saving 4 hours of like pickup and drive time.
Yeah.
And we're just there. We can catch the morning
Or
bike.
shout
6
out
a.m.
Wally's. We stay at their Hampton Inn too.
Or in the fucking Winnebago on the inside.
Hell, we
baby.
could stay at the old truck driver's bathroom at the Wally's.
Dude, honestly.
They got couches in there,
We could do-
showers.
we-
That
do s-
might be cleaner than Fair Oaks bathroom. That bathroom. Cleanest,
Oh, Fair
cleanest
Oaks?
ga-
They
cleanest
don't have
ga-
a good bathroom?
Tell you
Oh, they
what.
do. I
Oh,
always
they
say
do?
it's the cleanest
gotta have
bathroom
a
on
good
that side of 65, but
That's huge.
I don't know.
That's funny. Like my first job in Chicago was selling for like a Cintas rival, and that was like a huge selling point. It's like, you have bad business because your bathroom fucking stinks. Let me sell you soap and air freshener.
And it goes
And then let me get you
hand in
on
hand
rugs
on
and
what
uniforms.
the snacks you're gonna get,
Yes.
and then how clean the bathroom is.
Yeah,
It goes
for sure.
hand in hand. If you put the time and effort into the bathroom, you're gonna have the snacks that help
Absolutely.
that road trip make it a success.
Because you get sick to your stomach if you go to the bathroom. You're like, I'm not hungry anymore. I lost my appetite because there's cigarette burns in the toilet seat. Like, fuck off. Oh man, yeah, good bathrooms. We're all about that.
Universe, right?
Universe, baby. Yeah.
Shout 'em
out
out.
Universe, our first corporate sponsor. Do we want to touch on any more Weema talk? Or?
I mean, what a trip.
It was fun.
Yeah, shout out Weematuck. Shout out Weematuck.
I'm almost just getting exhausted thinking about it.
I know. It actually just tired me out thinking about
I need
the-
a shower now. I need a shower.
It was nice to recap that and live it through again, for sure.
No, it was awesome. I will say I did a thorough tick check
I'm good.
when I got back.
Tom had one.
And then boss sent out the text that Uncle Tom had one, and I did a double and a triple check because I was like, God damn it, dude, I'm definitely got.
Oh, we have breaking news
Hit me.
on the pod. Orioles just acquired a Cubs player.
Not.
Catcher Luis Torrens
Oh, he's like a bullpen catcher.
for
isn't he?
cash. Yeah, it was a cash trade.
That's the old Jackie Moon. I'll give him a bag of balls and a dishwasher for that
That's,
bullpen catcher.
That's the second live on podcast Cubs trade that we've had.
We're covering it, boys.
Or not
and
second.
ladies.
Not second. The last time we talked about a Cubs trade, it wasn't a trade. It was a signing, and it happened during a game. And this trade just broke. Cubs and Baltimore are both playing right now. So,
We got to throw that in the description.
yeah, very interesting that they do that. Mid-game trades, mid-game signings, or at least that's when they release the news. I don't know how it goes down behind the curtain, but
Do you remember last year there was I think it was a Cubs player. There was an outfielder, and he got traded during the game. He was in outfield, and the people in the stands were
MLB.
like, "Hey, you got traded." He's like, "For what?" They're like, "Oh, a second round pick."
was that the Cubs?
I can't remember. It was an outfielder though, because he was talking to like the bleachers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got traded for blah blah blah." He's like, "Oh, that's a pretty good deal." And he like wasn't phased at all.
The MLB is relentless. They'll trade guys mid-game. They'll sign them to contracts mid-game. Respect, but the guys make a lot of money, so.
I mean, fuck it. Yeah. I mean, the amount of games, whatever, but it is nice for them that the game times are shortened, I would say.
This year.
Do you think it's going to go back?
No. I mean,
Oh, no.
just happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll stick around a little bit. I think it's better for the game. It's got to save
like
like
it.
hella money on the TV
especially
stuff.
for TV. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much better for TV. It's a little bit tougher
If you're
at the
there.
ballpark. You
Yeah.
know, like you always used to like getting up. You know, maybe walking to the gift shop. You know, taking a quick little lap, hitting the bathroom, hitting the concession, coming back and missing a half of inning.
Yeah,
Now you can miss an inning and a half of
Yeah.
baseball where you're like, what? You know,
exactly.
it goes by so much more quickly, but you still got to love it for the game of baseball.
You definitely feel like you don't get as much bang for your buck when you go to an in-live game.
So
You're like, fuck, I bet. Like the other day, I heard a game was only like 2 hours, 15 minutes.
they're quick. They're
Exactly.
quicker.
Yeah.
So some ballparks have started to adapt.
Needed.
Eighth inning cutoff on beer and liquor.
Eighth inning. Yeah. So they're extending it an extra inning. And just a quick note to point out here. I don't remember who it was, unfortunately, but this made a headline on ESPN. The Brewers were one of the first teams to announce that they were doing or considering extending beer sales to the eighth inning. And there was a pitcher, I believe, a prominent pitcher, but not like best in the league, but he's pretty big name. I saw it and I knew it. He was complaining. He was actually mad, and he said that puts fans' safety at high risk.
Oh, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
that-
Do they stop selling beers at the bar in the 8th inning? Oh, wait, if you
Yeah,
go to the bar,
yeah,
guess
yeah,
what? Hey, guess what? 8th inning. Like, I saw you've been watching the Cubs game. Guess what? 8th inning's coming up. You're cut off. Here's your check. No.
I
Yeah,
could
that's
imagine
crazy
it
talk.
has to do with like, oh, if they can drink longer, they can be more drunk and more unaware of balls. I didn't read into it, but
Yeah,
like
they put up all those
that's so
bullshit
stupid.
nets.
I
You
think
can
it's
drink-
more for driving home compared
maybe that,
to.
but you know, if you think about it, if the games are that much shorter, where the stadium's increasing another inning of sales, it's probably the same amount of hours and minutes anyway as it was last year.
Yeah,
So
I'd
whoever
agree.
this pitcher is, he's not a friend of the pod.
Yeah, I think the whole point of that was they always pushed, and in different sporting events too, is the it gives you 2 innings, or in football's terms, maybe like the last last 10 minutes of the game to sober up.
Yeah.
To drive home,
A little more time.
which is already who's going to sober up in 15, 20 minutes, or what good does that do if you're really going to want to keep drinking? Guess what? You're going to go to the bar where you never get cut off.
Well, Cubs, if you're listening, open up that new sports book you got and extend your beer sales for the 8th inning.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to open up this year.
It's opening up sometime soon.
I saw something. It was from a commercial, so I don't know how true it is. But did you know, per the commercial, Blue Moon was brewed up and started at Brewer Stadium as like a stadium beer?
I can't say I've heard that,
No.
but that's pretty wicked.
That was in the commercial. They were like, "Oh, in 19 blah blah
pretty
blah
cool.
at Brewer Stadium."
Hey, fans out there at home, don't forget to fact check that. Don't forget to fact check that. Give us a
Please.
comment if he's full of
Please.
shit, because I don't 100% trust him, but I respect him.
I don't blame you. Yeah, it was from a commercial, so we'll see. But I thought it was kind of interesting.
We're sitting.
Speak of the sports book that's
Open
going
up.
in. Yeah. Do you guys have a preferred vendor of online sports books that you bet through?
FanDuel.
A long time I was with PointsBet because they gave me like
Member bonuses.
Where's the
they gave me
cash?
member
Yeah.
bonuses, and I had
Big.
like my own fucking client service representative, and he'd be like, "You're not betting it. You're not
Big
losing
gambler.
enough money."
Here's a promo.
Yeah, exactly. But then a whole scandal I don't want to talk about, but I switched to FanDuel. I've been with FanDuel for a while. I don't know if they're the best. I'm just lazy
No,
about.
they might be one of the best retail markets in terms of options, betting lines, but the lines themselves are the juiciest for the book and the worst for the consumer.
Do you see? I feel like that it's
And they do vary. They vary,
yeah, it
but
varies.
like overall,
varies on the game. I'd say
overall, dude, I can see lines being posted by the handicapper I use all the time, like Bet365. A lot of lower platforms, but even DraftKings sometimes will have what I can take on FanDuel at -115 will be +100.
Really?
And it's it varies, like not all the time, but I think consistently, in my opinion, FanDuel, because they are the largest retail gambling sports book,
Yeah.
I think that they have the jurisdiction and the power to like move in their favor as much as they want because
Sure.
they have,
So is the juice more, or is the line just different?
in my opinion, it's
It's
just
the
juiced
juice
more
usually.
in favor of the
Juice is
book.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But what about you? Do you have a favorite book?
I use 3 different ones. I use Bet Rivers, DraftKings,
Just
and
3.
FanDuel, and just have a little, from those early those very beginning promos. It was like, hey, put this much in, we'll
Steph
match
Curry to
it.
score 1 point.
Yeah, exactly, and still just
25
been
max.
riding that and whatever looks the best. But I would say, I was gonna say it just kind of depends on the game and the sport, but
Yeah.
it always differs. I was looking at the Cubs today, looking to gamble on them -1.5, and FanDuel had the best. It was -114 compared to DraftKings is 120. So what is that? Damn near 60 cents or something. Doesn't matter.
Adds up,
But
baby.
hey, I'm a bargain shopper, so you find me on FanDuel betting that one. So
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I definitely have laid off a little bit, but I should. If I was a smarter bettor, I would definitely shop around a little bit more.
You got to shop. Kyle,
and the big thing is just usually those the ones that are like, if you're gonna do a parlay, you get your money back if you miss, or
Yeah, yeah.
kind of getting those that'll kind of keep you alive.
Get your
Yeah.
freebies in that float
Yeah.
you by until you hit your nice bet, and then
Until you actually take a smart bet instead of taking, a 14 parlay, you miss one and you get your money back. Guess what? I just donated because I'm missing 2 or 3.
Right. Yeah, that's all those like promos incentivize me to do is make a massive legger parlay. It's like, oh yeah, this free $20 is definitely gonna get me to $23,000 if this perfect game happens right now. Oh man, one of these days though. What are you cooking over there, Randall?
Switching gears here, we got the Cubs 1-1 deadlock with Washington. Top of the third. We got end of the first period. New Jersey's down 2-0. Not looking good for me at all. But I say we pivot into the NFL draft.
Real quick, one more comment on the Cubs. I want to give a shout out to my boy Willie Harris,
Willie Harris,
third base coach for the Cubs.
friend of the pod.
He's definitely a friend of the pod. Me and Carter made it all the way down from our 200 level seats to behind the Cubs dugout. And for 3 innings, like a 5-year-old bastard child, I was begging for bubble gum. And everybody was swerving me. Willie Harris comes in, looks at me, gives the fucking steel eyes to me, goes down to the dugout. Carter goes, I think he's, before I could even say, he could say another word, Willie Harris is throwing bubble gum at me and Carter. 2 grown-ass men. And he's just like, shut the fuck up. I'm pretty sure we were losing at that point, too. But, yeah, shout out to him. That was really cool. Felt like a kid again.
And to follow up on that, I got a funny story. not to one up. I don't want to be that guy, but it's a funny story to piggyback off of that. I got a buddy and like a friend of a friend type of deal. His parents own an MLB franchise. And so when they're in town, like he'll give us tickets. And one time they gave us the away owner seats, which are
Is this a Rockies game?
Yeah, I cannot confirm nor deny, but we're sitting there on the right on the aisle, like seats 1, 2, 3, 4, like right behind the visitors, and my buddy's like who's friends with the guy that's in the organization, and was like, yo, seeds. And then within, they came down and they tossed us 2 whole bags of seeds and some bubble gum, and it was, and then 2 balls late, and a couple balls. I think they knew that they're like, okay, these guys are, in these seats. But that was one of the, the highlight moment. I just got the Snapchat memory of us,
That's badass,
last week,
dude.
from sitting in those. It was the very beginning of May, so it was a damn good time for sure.
Wait, are you allowed to say what venue or no?
Oh, it was at the Cubs. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So like they were, and they weren't allowed to go, and so we jumped in on the seats, and
Fuck yeah, dude.
it was right around his birthday, so they hooked him up, and damn good time.
Bags and like those seeds and bubble gum hit different too. I feel like
when they're free coming from the dugout, you can't beat them.
that's awesome, dude.
I played 1 year of high school baseball just to eat.
Seeds.
Eat seeds in the dugout. Coach one time asked me if I wanted to go in, and I said no.
These seeds aren't going to chew themselves,
I'm
baby.
fine. I'm fine right here, brother.
No, there is something mesmerizing about just spitting seeds on the boys. Sorry. Yeah, that was my little side thing. What you got?
Well, let's just say that the 2023 NFL draft,
Yes.
it's come
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
and it's gone. 259 young men had their dreams come true as they joined the
That's
ranks
how many go through.
of the NFL.
7 rounds.
259.
7
259.
rounds, 32 teams, and then plus some extra picks of,
How do you get the extras?
you lose a guy to free agency or traded
really?
or something like that,
Just to hit the minimum kind of thing? Gotcha.
Weekend flew by, and you're damn sure there was a healthy dose of drama. I would say the draft is always a franchising defining moment for all 32 clubs that participate. With such an important event, there's only one way to react. Grades.
You get a grade up?
No. That's just what I wanted to put my 2 cents in. But we all know
okay.
grades don't matter. That's why I'm not going to grade.
Sure.
Yeah, you never know. You never know for 3 to 4 years.
I'm a big PMT guy,
Sure.
as many of you probably know. And I'll go off what Big Cat said here. And I really like the way he puts it. And he fucking hates draft grades because nobody fucking knows, right? Like, just as much as nobody really knows how the draft's going to go, I'm almost positive. I am positive. It's like the NCAA March Madness bracket.
Sure.
Nobody's ever picked the correct bracket.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever picked a correct round 1 of the NFL draft.
Right.
It's impossible, right? So you don't know what's going to happen in the beginning. You don't know what's going to happen for the teams after the draft either.
Yep.
So when Mel Kiper assigns his draft grades, or Todd McShay, or fantasy analysts, they're no better than the shitty way that they thought the first round was going to go in the first place.
Right.
So, not
Yeah,
that I'm
AK, if it meets their narrative, hey,
Then it
A
helps
plus,
them.
A plus. If you didn't, F minus.
a
You
big
know,
thing about the draft grades as well, right? Is like, okay, the Colts did really well because I had X guy going at 50 and they got him at 75, right? But like, so their draft grades are just about what they thought their pre-draft selection was. So
Right.
it really doesn't change anything. I'm not a big fan of draft grades. I'm just a big fan of who the Colts draft. And that's all you can be. You
So-
just gotta twist the narrative. You gotta have a
you're
spin
always
story.
your home team always has a great draft.
Yeah, it's always good for you.
Yeah,
Unless
you-
you're the Lions and you draft a running back at 11.
So you
But
guys
they
got
traded DeAndre not for much,
to Philly,
but
right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
they didn't want him.
Yeah.
You could watch in that hard knocks from last year and just be like,
But they're gonna lay
man,
into
they
Williams,
don't
right?
like this guy.
They're just gonna use Williams as a workhorse, right?
Williams is gone. They
the hell did he
signed
go?
they
He
signed
gone.
David Montgomery.
They got
the
Montgomery.
ex-Bear.
They got Montgomery.
Coming from the Bears fan, he is plugged in,
They
ladies
drafted
and
a
gentlemen.
rookie.
Plugged, as you guys can tell.
He's got insiders.
Well, you guys drafted a backup for Sam Ellinger, right?
We did, yeah.
no,
he's-
actually for Nick Foles. Nick Foles is going to be the starter. Sam
Is Ellinger
Ellinger's
not
like-
there anymore?
No,
No,
Foles
I
is
think-
gone.
is
I think
Foles gone?
Foles is gone. Our
I
backup.
think he might. I don't know.
Not very plugged in over there, horse
Oh,
boy.
sorry, I don't know that third. Actually, the real starting quarterback is Gardner.
Yeah, our third and fourth
Minshew.
quarterbacks,
Legendary.
they're out of sight, out of mind for us, Yaza. We might have so many quarterbacks,
know.
we don't know what to do.
That's because my fantasy team sucks so bad. I have Sam Ellinger in my
that's
taxi
tough.
squad
That's
right
tough. You might as well cut his ass.
You can drop him.
No, we drafted AR-15, maybe soon to be known as AR-5 or AR something
Or
else.
AR Hall of Famer.
now. Allen Robinson?
ARHOF. We drafted Anthony Richardson. I'm pretty happy with the pick. I was talking through text communication with Spencer. We were texting right as the draft was starting, right before the pick, right after. And I think we both thought, I go, what do you think we do here? He goes, Levis. And I said, we're going to draft Levis. I know it's going to
Was
suck.
not. I mean, it wasn't upset, but wasn't happy about
I
it.
mean-
I thought it was the safe pick.
Where's
that,
he out of?
He's out of Kentucky.
Okay.
He's the guy who slid. He slid to 32, technically 32, which would have been first round. I think he may have been 33. But there was a team this year who didn't get a draft pick in the first round because of a court
They
ruling.
tried to recruit a quarterback and give him ownership rights. How crazy is that?
Wait, what? Who
They
is
tried.
this?
The Dolphins tried to recruit
What?
Tom
first round
Brady
pick.
from. It was actually, I think it was from when he was on the Patriots,
Oh, wow.
and they tried to recruit him from the Patriots, and then he ended up signing with
The Bucks.
the Bucks. But they were going to give him an ownership stake in the Dolphins to join the organization, which is, if you're thinking about that, that's John Elway type shit, like
That's
That's
insane.
Gruden
Yeah.
type shit right there.
Dude, Miami's up to no good all the time. Who was that assistant coach who got busted for doing cocaine in the video?
Oh, they
You know what I'm
have
talking about?
Richie Incognito may even
He's
been
on
there when
another
he
style.
got in trouble.
Really?
They
That
got
guy's
in
up to
trouble
no
for
good.
tanking in the tanking. That was part of the other reason why I think they lost their pick. But the big part
Everybody
was,
tanks though.
but I guess they couldn't really put that on it because they were technically innocent. But
Damn.
they were trying to recruit Tom Brady.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
When did that get uncovered?
This was like last year.
And they were like, "Fuck you, you lose your pick."
First round pick gone. So one unfortunate soul lost a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
Not being drafted in the first round, and then
But there's so spin zone. We'll spin zone that.
Spin cycle.
Doesn't get a first round draft pick contract, but doesn't have a 5th-year option. Can get re-signed so it was Will Levis who was out of that spot. So he can now
Oh.
doesn't have to get picked up on a 5th-year option, quicker to a new contract where his annual salary, even if he's a backup, will shoot up millions.
If you're in a second round,
No. If you're a second round, yes, you don't have the option to get a fifth
You get a
year
4-year
on your
contract.
It's
As
Or-
opposed to a 5, so it happens quicker to get to your new.
Yeah,
you
to
get
get to your new contract.
technically you get a 4-year contract with a team option to pick you up for a fifth for
but
extra money.
he doesn't have that option. So he can re-sign in 4 years no matter what.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have any expectations. He's going to be able to he could ride Pine, maybe he'll start. But if he doesn't start, no worries. He wasn't a first round pick. If he blows the first season, it's not as bad as CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. He's a second round pick. So
Trubisky.
his
Trubisky.
his expectations are very tampered, which I believe will work out in his favor for the NFL and financially. Shout out Will Levis. I think he is a friend of the pod. He's a friend of the pod.
Yeah,
Definitely friend of the
Anthony
pod.
Richardson is like our man of the pod.
Yes,
But
he's on
a
next
friend of
week,
the pod.
possibly.
But I will say though, when you're looking at, I think it was earlier this week or maybe later this week that teams have to pick up the 5th-year option from X amount of draft class. There was
A couple guys haven't got picked up.
yeah, there was only 12 individuals from that draft class that got their 5th-year option picked up. So what's that mean? 20 of them didn't.
Yeah.
So
There was a
so it's very. I mean, it's more unlikely that you continue to be a star than you make. You know,
I'm always big on, like, I saw this study, like, it's been 6 years or 7 years now, but, like, numbers wise, players in, like, the first round players always underperform compared to your second, third, fourth, and late round picks. So, like, these guys equated it to, like, the underhand granny shot in basketball. That statistically, just like through the like biomechanics of the body is a more accurate shot. But out of pride, no one's shooting a fucking granny shot in the NBA. And they're like, yo, like, actually, though, physiologically, this is going to make you more accurate. It's the same thing in the NFL draft. It's like you need first-round picks. But, I mean, look at Tom Brady and, like, most of these guys. Bob, like, you were talking about PMT earlier. Big Cat always talks about the 04 Seahawks, one of the Seahawks, where it was Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, and another guy.
Cliff Averill, I believe.
No. It was Bruce Irvin.
Bruce Irvin.
Oh, Bruce Irvin.
And they
Yep,
were
good.
all late-round picks. So it's like...
Yeah,
Well,
so that's why I say fuck draft grades.
That's what I
Yeah,
was also
yeah.
going to link up and say, yeah, they gave them like a D or an F.
They gave him a D
Yeah,
or an F.
yeah.
Yeah. So draft grades
And
mean nothing.
Next
Mean
thing
nothing.
you know, they have damn near 3 Hall of Famers on, from
Yeah.
that draft class.
Right.
Because
So-
guess what? It didn't fit the narrative,
Draft grades mean nothing. Whoever's out there listening, whoever your team is,
Exactly.
believe in who you picked.
Unless you draft Anthony Richardson, you know it's
Then you
real.
know. Then you know. But
That's why I'm always big on, like, trading back and, like, just acquiring, like, casting a huge net and having as many picks as possible.
guess what we
'Cause
did?
you're gonna miss. You're
That's
gonna
what
miss.
we did this year, baby.
Same. Bears
We
did the
traded
same
down
thing.
9 picks. We got a fourth and a fifth.
Yeah.
We got 10 picks after
That's
that.
so much better. Like, you have to take shots at the draft. Like, people are gonna miss. You're gonna cut players.
Quickly,
Like, it's
to
gonna happen.
touch on the previous point about so many good draft picks. This is the 2020 draft where now their 5th-year options are being picked up. So just quickly to list off some of the guys who aren't being picked up. Chase Young,
Really?
probably what I would say top 10 D
Injury,
lineman.
though. A lot of injuries, though.
Top 10 D
Might be a
lineman.
prove it year. Hey, stay healthy. You
Jeff
get paid.
Okudah, as expected. Isaiah Simmons, that was the one I just saw, not picked up. He was number 6
Jeff
overall pick.
Okudah, though, his part of his trade to Atlanta,
But he didn't get picked up after.
Yeah, but I don't think it allowed him to. I think
you
he
can.
had to hit the. Free
Oh, he's
agency
not
market.
eligible post-trade.
Yep.
Yeah. Jedrick Willis. This one surprises me. Mekhi Becton.
I don't know. I'm not.
He's like a 4th
top of mind.
overall offensive tackle pick. Javon Kinlaw, 49ers didn't pick him up. Jalen Reagor, as expected. A couple other guys. Jordan Love was given an extension instead.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Got it. Yeah, 2 years.
Patrick Queen, another guy who was not picked up, who I think come play for the Colts.
Yeah, he
Come
got.
play for the
Well,
Colts.
they paid big money for Roquan. 100. I think it was 100 mil.
Well, then come play for us, baby. Noah Iguodinye.
Yeah, one more time for the people at home.
Iguodinye,
Yep,
not
exactly.
picked up. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as expected. But that's a lot of quality guys
Yeah.
that I would say, hey, come sign. average deal with us, anytime, any day. I would love to have any of these guys on my team.
Yeah, a lot of those guys though. Why because that fifth year it really shoots up, and you're like, hey, I just drafted someone in replace, or
right, and you can
it's like, hey, guess what? I'm paying Patty Mahomes. I'm paying 49ers are paying all this money to their their defense, offensive line. It's like,
I do think it's fair to say though that this was a little bit more than expected this year.
I bet it's pretty average. I mean, I think they said, I forget the stat they talked about with the Chiefs and the Eagles, but it was something crazy like 25% of the starters in the Super Bowl were, later than third or fourth round draft picks.
Yeah. But, you've got your solid guys in there that are the mainstays that are overall picks.
And that's the difference between picking from, 1 through 5 to 10 through 32 is, you get those early round picks and you're just lowering the probability of you having one of those guys that just kind of slip through, but still paying them a little bit more, but you get your pick of them.
Pick of the litter.
Quick draft recap for me, honestly, just to call out a couple things. I think the Texans, I like what they did.
I don't. I mean, I like it as a Colts fan.
So
what they do
that's what I'm saying.
For the people that don't know.
So the Texans had number 2 overall pick, widely expected in the months leading up to the draft to draft a quarterback, and the months up to the draft, the few before, all of a sudden they were expected to draft a defensive player. So
why?
It's just
hearsay, she said.
Just the way things change in the draft.
What quarterback do they have to put on the roster now? If they had to start today?
Dougie Mills.
What the fuck? So they're really trying to get by on Doug Mills?
That's not to say that that's going to be their starter, but by not drafting a quarterback, if they draft the best defensive player in the draft, that's still a win.
Sure.
And they very well may be top 3 pick again next year. But here's the thing. They drafted a quarterback. They got CJ Stroud. And guess what? Then they traded to number 3. So they picked number 2 and number 3. They got Will Anderson, widely accepted as the best defensive pick of the draft, not player.
Is he a cornerback?
No, he's a D lineman, D end.
You got to have good defense.
So
Defense
I like what
wins
they did
championships.
in the sense of the Colts. I think Will Anderson is going to be a 10-year player in the NFL. I think he's going to be a 10-year average player. And as far as CJ Stroud's concerned, I like the pick. I'm hoping he busts. I think he won't.
Yeah,
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, that's one that you don't know. CJ Stroud could be the guy, going forward, but
He'll
overall,
he'll be all right.
I don't know if he is. Obviously, I wanted him to be a Colt, but we got Anthony Richardson, so I'm riding Anthony Richardson.
Agreed.
But I think what they gave up for next year, knowing even if CJ Stroud's pretty good,
He'll be good.
a pretty good rookie quarterback is still below average, I would say.
Agree.
And then they're still going to be picking in the top 5, where next year they could have really bolstered their lineup with, whether it's, you have the quarterback. Well, they wouldn't want a quarterback, but they would also have the opportunity for Marvin Harrison Jr. There's some very, very good offensive tackles supposed to be come out next year. And,
Did they trade? Sorry to interrupt. Did they trade next year's first round?
Which is projected the number 2 overall pick already. But you never know.
That's where it helps us a little
Projected
bit.
is based on how they're going to do this year?
Yeah, Vegas has them as the first or second worst team.
Jeez,
No matter what, they don't have their first round next year.
Yeah.
So whether it could be a 3 or
And
whether
they had
it's a 15.
and they had the 12th pick this year from the Cleveland Browns for the trade with Deshaun Watson. What they gave up and some other stuff
it.
too. But
Is he ready to play?
Deshaun,
He played last year, brother.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if the ladies came out of the ground and said,
No,
hey, more massages.
Slowly.
He played week 12 on last year, and
After his massage antics.
yeah, and he played like he was getting massages on the field. He didn't play too well.
Nah, well, that was also the first time he picked up a football. It felt
2
like
years.
in damn near 3 years. So
What about CJ Stroud having like the lowest score on his intellect?
Didn't affect his draft.
yeah, they had
Didn't
shout out
affect
Pac
the
McAfee show, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Pat, have a song.
They had they had the CEO or the creator of that test in on the show, and they kind of talked about it.
Okay.
He could give away any detail, like exact details, but was leaning towards
like what the statistics were to measure them, like Dick
he
Lang.
couldn't confirm that was
Like
Stroud.
the formulation of it.
Yeah, the Stroud was 18% or whatever it was.
Oh.
He said there's 10 different tests that they take.
Quarterbacks only, or all players?
All players. They give it to police officers. They give it to ML.
Oh.
He said one of their best things that they give it to is MLB batters.
It's like the
Because
worldwide
it's
wonder luck.
Yeah, it's like reaction based. So they show you an image, and if you're able to understand, oh, that's a curveball coming.
Oh shit!
You'll have a better opportunity. You have a 50% chance to be be
No
in MLB.
shit. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which is interesting. They give it to different occupations, not just football. But
What's the test called?
Well,
I think it was S2 or S4 or something like that.
similar, I'm sure, in capacity to the Wonder Luck test that they give.
Oh yeah, because I
You
thought
know.
that's what the traditional football test was. the
Quarterback
Wonderlic.
test, I think. Right?
That's what I took on the.
That's
on
more
the Madden games.
That's more. I think that's more intelligence based or
Okay.
something like that compared to this is reaction based or like more of like an eye test, like how quickly you can. Kind of like those bullshit tests they give you at the eye doctor. Like,
Oh, yeah.
tell me when this
The
is
barn?
moving. Yeah, like, yeah.
You know the barn I'm talking about?
Oh,
right before
yeah.
they blow the fucking air in your eyeball. God damn. But yeah, that's draft was interesting nonetheless. Like I was telling Spencer earlier, like I finally so like for those of you who don't know, I'm not like the biggest sports guy, but I try my best. I understand this year like the appeal of the draft, like Spencer brought up. It's the first event to like kind of signal the coming
kicks
back.
off the year.
Yeah,
Well,
it kicks
it's
off the year.
after some free agency.
But also just like the general like optimism and like hope that each team gets with each player is like, oh, okay, like that guy was a fucking stud at whatever college he was. Like he could be fucking really good. So there's a lot of like hope and optimism around like fandom. So
Absolutely.
like, I mean, I like I'm a new Bears fan, but like all these names that came up, I'm like, oh yeah, all these guys would fucking change our game, dude.
It's a big event. It's huge. As I capped the draft off,
yes.
200 and X amount. We'll check the exact number.
283.
259 young men's lives are changed on 3 nights. Okay, but just to show you the sheer power of the draft and the energy that it brings to the fans. Guess how many fans attended the NFL draft night 1?
Hundreds of 300,000.
300,000 in
Kansas
Kansas City.
Jesus Christ.
300,000.
What's the population of that city? Like a mil?
Probably fucking 600,000.
Jesus Christ. There's a lot of travelers.
I think Nashville, don't correct, I may be wrong, but 600,000 people.
508
Yeah, 508.
in
yeah.
Kansas City.
Wow.
Oh,
Sorry,
damn.
Kansas City.
So
So
travelers. Do you think the super fan was there?
60%.
Where? Yeah,
Is he
the
on the
guy's
loose
on the
still?
run. He's on the run. He's still on the run.
You hear about this guy, Randall? The super fan?
Yeah.
Chiefsaholic.
I think
Yeah,
he's on the
Chiefs
run
Aholic.
right now.
Yeah.
Bank robber.
I've been keeping up with it. PMT does a great job at keeping up with
Billy Football.
Billy's tracking him.
Billy, I watched the one episode I watched recently. Billy's like, will you guys like sponsor my bounty hunter license? He's like, they're like, how much? He's like, 3? Yeah, we could do $3,000. He's like, okay, cool.
I used to think Billy was a prick, but I kind of like Billy.
Yeah, I definitely cut off of the like once Billy came on.
There we
that's not the
go.
reason
There we go. I'm sorry, Yaza.
No, you're right. The New Jersey Devils just scored. Is it
Put one
1-1
in.
now?
I got the over at 2.5 in this
Oh
game.
my God, the Canes scored 3
Yeah, but it's early. But I just need them to get 3 goals,
over what 5.5?
2.5. New Jersey team total.
Team over.
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean like whatever. We're talking about another podcast, not that important.
Yeah, fuck other podcasts. This is our podcast.
It's all this. It's all about us and socks, baby.
Just to recap, just to recap where I'm at.
That's getting clipped.
On the draft. I think Cardinals moving from 3 to 6 was interesting. Objectively, I'm not going to give an opinion. I think it was interesting nonetheless. Very interesting to see Texans go 2-3. They go 3 to 6. And then other than that, I think winner of the draft, Eagles. As much as I hate to say it, they're like a country favorite. Hey,
Why?
Everyone's riding him. That never happens, though. Whoever rides the winner, though.
yeah. So again, draft grades mean nothing, and neither does mine. But it's just my winner of the draft. They get Jalen Carter. So Jalen Carter was widely accepted as the best player in the draft, not the best draft pick, but the best player. He had issues, so they got arguably the best player in the draft at 6, I think, and then they go all the way back to like 29, and they get Nolan Smith, who is widely on most experts' draft boards within top 20.
What position does he
He is an outside linebacker, can move down to DN, I believe. So between Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, he could have gone in the top 10. Most people had him in the top 20. They get him late 20s.
Damn.
Two
I feel
amazing defensive guys to replace two veterans in the same positions that are leaving next year or in the year after.
Yeah.
I think another widely known thing, widely common subject of discussion about Jalen Carter, he had issues, he got in trouble leading up to the draft, but a lot of people are worried about his discipline and not being able to coach him and be coachable.
Sure.
But going to the Eagles where they
Veteran
have
squad.
like Fletcher, he's going to be trained by Fletcher Cox.
Yeah. Yeah.
12-year veteran, one of the best to do it, just went to the Super Bowl last year.
Sure.
Top of his position in the league. He's going to be supported there. If there's any team that can maybe help him out, might be them.
And he's surrounded by Georgia Bulldogs.
I mean, he's on a Georgia Bulldog defense.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think they have 6 starters now on their defense from Georgia in the last 5 years.
Yeah, so
Just a guess.
little bit about the Bears draft I know is like we obviously traded back with the Eagles and they were allowed to get Carter and then we took Wright.
Oh, yep. And you traded back with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that was round 2, right? Oh no, that was
the
before.
first overall pick.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I think it makes sense with regards to to piggyback off of what you were saying. Carter is good because like all this shit, good for the Eagles because of the veteran squad. I think the Bears got that extra pick, although I think it was not enough. Like I think we got a 4th round pick for going back to get Darnell Wright because the Bears do not have a veteran squad, and obviously Carter like wouldn't have that many role models to build off of. Wherein Wright, I think is seen as more mature and like should be able to handle the transition better. So I think that was a decent move, getting something out of moving back, because the Eagles probably knew the Bears weren't going to take Carter.
And you knew Gene McCaskey too wanted nothing to deal with that over the kind of that off the field issues. She won't even let him have cheerleaders, let alone a guy that with a little bit of baggage.
She can't handle if the hard candy falls out at her house, dude. She is a fragile being. So
the Bears went out. They got their guy to protect Justin Fields and Darnell Wright. So
we'll see. We'll see if he's still a fucking running back this year. I mean, like I'm happy to see these fucking huge runs, but for your franchise guy to be like so vulnerable to contact.
Let him develop. Let him sit in the pocket.
Let him cook, baby.
He doesn't have a Darnell Wright backing him up on the left tackle, so now
That's
he
fair.
does. Also, shout out to the Bears. I believe they drafted Noah Sewell.
The wideout.
And let's be honest,
As far as I know, it's just the other Sewell, Penei Sewell, out of Oregon. It's his brother. So I'm a big Sewell guy.
Yeah.
He went to the Lions. Shout out Sewell. Bears picked him up.
and I was going to say shout out to the Bears, honestly. Not a Bears fan, but they got the best player in the draft. They got DJ Moore trading that pick. So
That's true.
that's like when the Colts
should.
traded one of their picks a few years back for DeForest Buckner. It's like
Dang.
you got a guy. You're not taking a stab.
He's going to be
you
good.
you got a guy. So
He's proven
you
himself.
put some
the last
weapons
3
around
years.
Fields. My question is now, can Fields do it? There's
got
nothing holding him back.
He's got a tackle.
It's got to be him.
He's been in the league for 2 years. He's got I'm putting quotations up
They
here for
also-
the podcast
Claypool
listeners.
stinks.
He's got quotation weapons. So we'll see what he can do. So win of the draft, Eagles. Biggest whiff of the draft, Lions, in my opinion.
Ooh.
They had a great pick. They were at 6. They traded it. They went back to 12, and they got a running back that nobody had ever heard of. So
Whoa.
First of all,
Jameer Gibbs is nice with it, though.
let me say, I have only compliments to say about Jameer Gibbs, okay? This motherfucker is slick. He's quick. And guess what? He's slick. He quick. He ain't even a running back. He's what I like to call a slot back. That guy can line up in the backfield. He can play like Kamara. He is a Kamara-esque type of guy. Put him out in the slot, bang. We want to run him at, full. He can do anything out of the backfield. He can do anything out on the sideline. I think he's a dynamic back. He reminds me of Kamara, but I wouldn't even draft Kamara at 6. And that's the problem.
Yeah. It sounds like you were besmirching him, and now.
Well, here's the
traded
thing.
back. They traded back from 6. It's not as they didn't draft him at 6.
They got him at 12. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if they wanted Bijan Robinson at 6, they could have taken him, and they didn't. They traded back and they took this guy at 12. So I'll leave it at that.
But maybe
I want the Lions to do well. I like some of their later picks. I'll leave it at that. I think that they could have done better having 2 first-round picks and at 6.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the Colts, Spence?
That's tough.
I mean, I'm pumped up. I will say the one thing the Colts have been able to do over the last, especially last year, is god awful as they were. Every time I started to fade, they knew how to bring me back. Like, they were like, okay, we don't have a quarterback. They got Matt Ryan. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in now. I'm in. I'm fully in, actually. Matt Ryan, he's a legend. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. We got him.
Yeah,
and then we watched it. He's
got the largest deficit where he came back on in the Super Bowl and in the regular season. He is a legend.
Yeah, he knows how to bounce back. I figured you learn from your mistakes.
Happens.
But then, they start stinking. Matt Ryan's just getting beat up all over the place. And then I'm like, then they start pumping up this guy, Sam Ellinger. He might be
gunslinger,
the guy.
They say.
Gunslinger, big legs, big old legs. He might be able to do it.
Damn.
And, I got to watch a couple weeks because they got Sam Ellinger. And then he stinks. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then they bring Matt Ryan back. And then they bring Nick Foles. Every week they knew how to just make me want to watch at least for
a quarter
or two before I turned it off. But this Anthony Richardson pick is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to watch, especially with this new head coach that just knows how to. He's cool. Kind of that offensive wizard that you want when you have a young quarterback like that. So thought they had a good draft. They had good wide receiver that slipped from UNC, that cornerback from Kansas State, which we need help with. Getting rid of Gilmore, requesting that trade. But I like where we're at moving forward, and I'm not going to be surprised if we, bottom 5 pick, but also wouldn't be totally surprised if we made had a good, halfway decent season and snuck in over that shitty ass AFC South. So, kind of, a little bit of the both worlds. So we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah. I wish the best for the Horsies. Obviously, I'm an Indiana native, so hope they do well. It's also nice for the Bears when the Colts are doing well. Just better for the division. To slide on into our slight, just to touch on our media stuff, movies and TV. Me and Spencer were talking off air. For months, he's been trying to get me to watch a show on Apple TV called Blackbird. And essentially the premise, so Randall, you can get in on this.
I'm learning here.
The premise of it is, Blackbird. That's the actor from... Kingsman, right?
Kingsman,
Taron Egerton, I think. Egerton or Egerton.
Terrible names. But then also the other guy from 3, 2, 1.
He's
Richard or something. Richard, were the guy that was
talking about the psychopath.
Yeah,
he's in he actually has a small part in Coming From Us to You, or excuse me.
Whoa, I have not seen that episode. It must be deleted scenes.
I think you should leave.
Oh yeah.
His whole skit is basically he's at a poker night with his buddies. And they're all like ragging on their wives, like, "Oh yeah, like you're giving me shit like my wife does." And then he feels inclined to join in on like ragging on his wife, and he like says some stupid thing about his wife, like, "Oh yeah, if you knew my wife, you'd be drinking like I am." And then it goes through a whole flashback of him like in this love story with his wife when he like gets auditioned for this play, and he's like, "Oh, I actually do love my wife." Anyways, to base off of this show, Randall, the premise of the show is...
It's based on a true story, too.
Based on a true story. This guy who was like a good-looking, charismatic alpha male gets busted as a drug dealer. He goes to court, and basically he's convinced by various members like to take a plea deal because you'll only get 5. He ends up getting 10. He gets 10 years for drug dealing in like a low-level, chiller prison. The FBI and the district attorney approach him and say, hey, you can ride out your 10 years in this low-level prison.
Spoiler alert through the
Spoiler
office.
alert, it comes out in the first episode. So you can ride out your 10 years in this low-level prison, or there's this serial killer in the Supermax prison in Springfield, Missouri.
Not too far.
What's that? And you can go to this prison where there are serial killers, murderers, rapists, the worst kind of people. You're going to hell. Your job is to befriend this
People of New
serial
York City.
killer. People of New York City, basically. Your job is to befriend this serial killer and get him to tell you where the body is buried.
I'm all
if you
over
get that, you are commuted.
Instant release.
It's instant release. Your 10 years that you owe are done, and you're a free man. But like obviously, when you go to a Supermax, you have to worry about being killed. You have to worry about
gangs.
You have to worry about defending yourself and catching 10 more years.
And the inside, the wardens and the cops there that are within.
The organizations are just like plurific. So my question to you, Randall, as not seeing the show, if you were offered that deal, would you take it?
Do I think I could pull it off?
You are you as you are now, and somebody comes and says, do you think you could befriend this psychopath?
I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
But
what's the alternative option?
You just sit and write out your 10 years as you were assigned originally in a low-level prison. Where like you're not worried about getting murdered. You're just in jail, basically.
I think I would.
It's jail.
There's a lot more risk associated with going with option A.
No. Option B. What's option A?
I was just assuming A being trying to dissuade.
Yes.
Dissuade
Going to
the serial killer, mental dude.
Yeah.
I think I could do it. It would require a lot of patience.
Would you risk it though? Like, would you Would you take the deal?
Otherwise, I'm in prison for 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years or as soon
I
as
would
it
take the
takes you?
deal.
Really?
Yeah.
And you think you could navigate through like the white supremacists, the black gangs,
I mean, you know me and how sarcastic I am. I think I could put on any type of front that I needed to.
I think you would definitely take the deal. If
Just
I had
to
to recommend
through it, and like, hey, if I nail this, we're out half a year. We just nail this. We dedicate our life to it. You get fucked, you get clipped. But
that's the thing.
You're in jail, you might get clipped.
Yeah.
You might get the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Sure.
You might not have a great 10 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, coming out on the other side of those 10 years, you might not be the same person coming out anyway.
That's so true, dude.
But I do agree there's a ton of risk associated with it.
Oh,
I'm not
my
saying
God.
saying I'm just be like, yeah, I'll do that, no thought about it.
Right, no.
But I think I could do it.
Yeah, I think you would do pretty well at that. I think you'd be solid. Spencer,
He was also.
what'd you do?
I don't know. I missed a few minutes here.
Would you take the deal?
No, the way that he was living in other jail, he was selling candy bars, like
He was selling Playboys.
Playboys. He had all this kind of stuff. He was literally just chill. He was just gonna be chilling for 10 years, which is a long time. But the thing that really got him though was his dad was sick, right? Where he wanted to be able to see his dad again. But spoiler alert, sorry about that. But
Spoiler.
yeah, we told you the whole show, but I don't think so. I don't think I would be able to
I don't know if I can
handle a
operate.
high security prison like that. That's a different beast. That look, at least from the show, at least I don't know.
Yeah, dude, my white belt one stripe would not be able to get me out of that super max, dude. I'd be getting my ass beat. I don't know. I mean, like, that's like one of my biggest fears is going to prison, dude. I feel like I get my fucking tushy taken advantage of, dude. I don't know if I can do it.
This is an explicit podcast, so
Not recommended for children. But yeah, dude, it scares the hell out of me, dude. But I mean, 10 years is a long time, though, dude. I haven't even lived 3 of those decades yet, so.
Almost though.
Oh, don't
We're getting
remind
up
me.
there, baby.
Don't fucking remind me. This is why I'm doing this podcast to try to support myself for the next 8.
Well, I got something of interesting note that I might bring up to you guys. I found this earlier today, browsing around some news articles on my lunch break, and this is a wide used term. So, are you guys familiar with Apple AirTags?
Yes.
So I guess the wallet one, tile.
Yeah.
You know, so they have these devices, Apple AirTags. They have tiles. I think Samsung makes some as well. So there's a few manufacturers who make these tracking devices, right? So a report came out today about these, we'll just say tags, and I'm including Apple AirTags, Samsung tags, tiles. But supposedly people are starting to use them to stalk people.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've seen that before.
Track their location
Yeah.
without that person knowing. So Apple, it's gone as far as Apple. I guess Google makes something, and they're attempting to make modifications to their devices to combat stalking.
Sure.
So the first thing that caught my mind, this was a LinkedIn article. So they have headlines and they explain a little bit about it, but they don't really get into the details. So if the whole purpose of this device is to track the location, how the hell are they going to curb stalking? I'm just curious if you guys have any thoughts on.
I've only seen if you have an unrecognized device that
You could
tracks
maybe,
location,
Stop
It
it.
notifies
Sure.
you.
it notifies
sure.
your phone. We know somebody. I'm not going to throw their name out, but a friend of TK's. She posted something about this, and yeah, so it'll tell you this tile has been with you for X amount. And
Okay.
It'll show you the pattern.
Okay.
And this was a year ago maybe. So they're that's all I've seen for them to combat
So
it.
they
Have
do
you seen anything
some-
else?
No. I was kind of dumbfounded
Yeah,
in the
that-
sense of or are they going to limit the tracking options? And it's if it is yours, that deletes the purpose of having one. But notifications and doing things through
Yeah, it notifies another
Yeah.
device that's around, be like, oh,
Yeah.
this thing is within your distance or whatever.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But I did see another story speak of that here, speak in New York as well. New York recently in regards to these as well. They've had so many car thefts that the city of New York is thinking about. I don't know if they've actually partnered up
Putting
with
them in
Apple
cars?
and putting them in cars. So when someone steals your car, you'll
Find
be
it.
able to track
Find it right
and
away.
see where the car is at the
Like a low jack.
huh?
Yeah.
Are you talking about low jacking?
Well, it's just tracking your car.
Yeah, so you're just putting that AirTag somewhere in your car, and then when someone steals you, when someone steals your
Hand
car,
it over
you
to the
know,
cops,
you
let
know
'em take
where
it.
your car
Oh,
is, so
okay.
they
Yeah.
can go back and find it.
It's a lot cheaper than a low jack. When me and my significant other were shopping for cars recently, she part of the package we sat down, we're like, all right, cool, we're getting this number, and they're like, oh, by the way, they're like, okay, it's the number you thought, plus $4,000 for a low jack. I'm like, I don't need that. And then they go into a whole thing
Sales
about,
pitch.
well, if you get your car stolen, I understand the risks about a car
AirTag.
being stolen.
Just AirTag
AirTag is
it.
way cheaper.
Just AirTag
That's a
it.
better way to do it.
Just AirTag it.
Talking about AirTags and the utility of them, I saw a reel the other day of somebody putting a tag on a dog collar, and then you can signal a button on your phone to play a noise from the dog collar, ring it. And he was Pavlovian training his dog to hit the button, and the dog would come and he'd feed it a treat.
That's cool.
So every
Yeah.
time he hits a button on his phone,
Comes
no
to
matter
him.
where his car is, his
That's
dog comes and finds
genius.
it. Yeah, I was like,
Genius.
hell yeah, dude! That's innovation at its finest, right there. So there's definitely uses to it.
Do you have to charge the AirTags? Or are they just permanently on?
I think it's got a pacemaker battery. Just lasts forever.
They
That's weird.
they have
Life Alert.
they
Shout out
have-
friends of Life Alert.
Yeah, life alert, baby.
I'm not an owner of any AirTag tile device, but I would
Same.
I would assume it's probably not solar powered, but I would assume it's a long-term battery that could maybe feed off some type of energy. Because it's a set it and forget it.
Sexual energy, probably.
Or maybe heat, warmth, tension. So if you've got it in your backpack and you sit down on the bus and your backpack hits the back of the bus, the warmth just creates energy.
Yeah, especially if
I'm
you're wearing
kidding.
socks. It's
I'm
like
kidding.
You probably have to put it in your socks every night.
You know, you put the AirTag in your shoe, let it warm up.
Yeah, But yeah, AirTags, definitely some uses for them.
Looking a little deeper into the story, so the headline article that I found on LinkedIn kind of brought me awareness to the situation of stalking off AirTags and Tile devices.
Sure.
Within the article, they determined that 32% of AirTag or Tile or any similar device owners they surveyed, and 32% of these device owners have admitted and reported to using the device to track another individual without their knowing.
Sounds like people
Okay.
are curious about their spouses cheating.
Yeah. So it could be in
Sounds
any
like that,
capacity.
yeah.
So 32% of these device owners, okay, let's just say AirTag,
Yeah.
because I ran the numbers. So just in Apple AirTag sales, according to a global research firm, IMIR, just in Apple AirTag sales globally, the market in 2022 was $3.8 billion, okay?
AirTags?
So a single AirTag costs $30.
Oh my God.
Which
Okay.
means 126 million units were sold. So
Jesus.
that means if 32% of AirTag users are using it to stalk or track people, that's 40 million people. 40 million people are using these devices
I'm glad you ran these numbers.
to
This is
track
interesting.
people.
And
unknowingly.
probably more because if you buy like the 5-pack bundle, it's
Oh, that's
cheaper
true.
per unit than
I broke it down. You can buy 5 for 100 or 1 for 30. So
Wow.
that's at the average rate, technically. But, whether we're talking 55 million or 35 million, it's a lot of millions.
Dude, what the fuck?
So if you're out there listening, check your car, check your backpack. Make sure that your ex or your current spouse ain't tracking you.
Yes. Yeah. God damn, man.
Make sure you're not being stalked.
That kind of freaks me out. Like, I'd probably have a panic attack if I went through my backpack and found one. I'd probably freak out if I saw one.
You figure out you're getting tracked by Kyle Matthiasen.
And then I realized it's actually on my dog collar, and I'm a dog, and I'm just like running back to my owner for treats. God damn. AirTags.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. That covers that's our tech segment today.
Yeah, we brought a little tech into it. Now to bring a little sexual assault into it.
Yeah. You got to.
Want to bring up Jackson Mahomes.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Spencer just showed me the video.
Yeah, so, Mahomes' brother, Jackson, he's
Jackson.
facing sexual battery charges
TikTok legend.
for improper
Watch me
misconduct.
Now watch me nay.
So he was in a nightclub. He's now 22 years old, and he is taller than Pat. What a low life.
Is he really?
He's like 4 inches taller than Pat Mahomes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so he was in a nightclub, and there's video of it. I'm sure you've all seen it. If you haven't, look it up. It's on TMZ. And he forcefully grabs the owner of this nightclub,
Brutal.
makes her kiss him, and then you can vividly see her like wiping her face off. It's pretty gross. And then he comes back in, grabs her again, does it again.
Ooh, double whammy?
He went to jail. He got his mugshot. He's
What?
in jail. $100,000 bond. Can't get out till Friday.
We got to throw his
He's
mugshot
out.
up
He's
right
out now.
Oh, then he did get out
Yeah,
on
he
bond.
posted bond.
But he went to jail. Yeah.
And I was showing Yaz, and it was a funny video of few reporters outside the jail in Kansas City or wherever it was, and they're chirping him the whole way, like, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" And then the very last comment goes, "If you were really black, you would still be in jail," or something like that. And it was just a funny video. These guys are just chirping him the whole way to the car.
That's not even
He's
funny.
quiet as a songbird, or quiet as a field mouse, and
Golly.
tough for the guy.
That's pretty brutal, man. I mean,
That's inappropriate.
it's very inappropriate. It's not cool. But
Funny,
I wonder what
but
Crappie
not
Killer
cool.
would have said about this whole thing.
Crappie killer.
Oh, man.
But Jackson Mahomes, not a friend of the pod before the sexual batteries charges. Not a friend after.
You're welcome to come talk about them, and we'll ridicule you for the hour.
You're looking
Jackson,
for a platform.
if Jackson wants to come on the show, we will give you a 30-minute slot, knowing that you have to be relentless to our jokes the whole time. But we'll let you come on and explain your story.
It's a chance to revive your
Legacy.
total profile. Yeah,
Your
your
legacy.
legacy. Your legacy is in danger. Give us a chance to revitalize it, but it's going to be mean. It's going to be hard. It's gonna be Wim Hof.
And keeping it on track here within the Mahomes family,
Yeah.
I found out today looking up Jackson Mahomes and looking into his.
His wife's a psychopath.
No, I don't know Jackson.
Oh.
You mean Jackson's husband, probably. But supposedly, Pat Mahomes has a sister, Patrick Mahomes.
Patricia Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is his father. Patrick Mahomes is our Pat. So he has a little
Our Pat.
sister. I think she's like 9 or something.
All right, let's be careful.
And this is Mahomes' dad's daughter with another wife than his mother, but her name is Mia Randall. So supposedly because of the half brother, half sister thing, she assumes the last name of Randall spelled just like mine.
Could you imagine if you guys were related?
I am related all of a sudden to Pat Mahomes.
That's pretty cool.
So I think I might start going to the Chiefs games, getting back row passes.
We gotta throw
locker
that
room
out there.
passes,
hitting TikToks on the field pass.
I'll take over Jackson's TikTok duties.
Yes.
And I won't step on traditional historic emblems on the field like Jackson's done. I'll be respectful, and I'll be a dog. I'll be with Travis Kelce chugging PBRs post game.
That's sick.
Jackson Mahomes is dancing post game. I'll be like, "Yo, Travis, I bet you can't outdrink me, bitch." I'll be running it. But yeah, cool little tidbit. I am related to Pat Mahomes.
I mean, I'm very happy for you, and I really hope that they allow you on the field to do this stuff.
2023 season.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
We'll see if we can get the podcast there.
It's kind of dumb if they didn't have you on. So I think that they should have you on.
I mean,
it's best for their brand.
They should get us home.
I don't know why not. I don't know if I had anything else to bring up.
I got one thing for the boys here.
We
little
Typical guest segment. We asked Spencer to
Yep.
bring us a little topic, whether it's something he wants to talk about, whether it's something he wants to ask us, whether he wants to just gloat about his insane bets lately. We told him to bring something. So what you got?
So this was, I know it's been a couple weeks coming. I've had some high demands, and we haven't been able to, put this thing together now for 2-3 weeks.
We've been asking him to come on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was originally going to be a draft due to the upcoming NFL draft, but I know we had to push this back. So we're just going to do a normal segment of.
Let's go. You got a beer over there?
Yeah, I do. I do have a beer.
Beer the boy. But I had some high demands to get me on the podcast.
We had to pay.
For the green room. You had to fill up the green room.
We had to pay this man to come on.
Yeah.
And my thing was gonna be,
Your writer was insane, by the way. Fruit Gushers,
and
Szechuan sauce from 2009 McDonald's.
that was the
You know
one.
how hard that was to find?
But that's gonna be mine. Is your accommodations once you're famous and all glory for.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and you have a
Oh, my
green
bad.
room.
I didn't mean to blow that up.
No, that's awesome. No, I like it because those are two of them that were on the list. But
Now they're off. They're off
So
with
there's going to be 5 things you have to fill. One hot food, one hot food, one cold food.
Okay.
One candy, one slash snack. So either or.
Okay.
One drink and one miscellaneous item that you get to have in there.
All right. So what's our first one?
I got the hot food.
One hot food. So like an entree.
Are these individual
warm-
or do we have to agree?
Yeah, we'll go down the line.
Yeah. Each
All right,
person gets
so
their
hot food. Undeniably, it's my favorite food. This would be my death row meal.
Okay.
Well, if I can only choose one.
But remember, this is for the green room, so you got your boys in there hanging out too. It's not just not just you.
Oh, it's for
But
the
it's
green
like
room.
it's like you're like when you're sitting back in your dressing room getting ready, and you have
Okay.
everyone hanging out. This is what they're stocking here for you.
At the
Straight
draft.
writer style.
And not the
Anytime.
draft. Like let's say you're on the Tonight Show. and
No,
you're
I
like,
would
hey,
want to
I'm
be
not
on
coming.
the draft. I'd want to be.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
not
If
the
I'm at
draft.
the
Well, the
draft.
draft, you're just sitting at the table
If
in the
I'm in
middle
the
of
draft and I'm in green room
You
and
can
I'm
do the
picking
draft. I'm
my
not-
hot food, I would want 6 Chick-fil-A deluxe sandwiches just so that everybody knows, damn, he's eating that tonight. On draft night, he's a dog.
Damn, that's sick as hell.
Because I love Chick-fil-A, and that would just be like, damn, if he's putting those calories down and he looks like that, as in the sense of I'm an NFL draft.
Sure.
First day draft guy. Give me 6 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, deluxe, tomato, lettuce, pickle.
Anything fuels this guy.
Bang.
Anything fuels him. That's
Bang.
good. That's good. That's good PR. Spence, you want to go? You want me to go?
Do you guys want to go person by person
Let's
or
go person by person.
Yeah.
person by person?
Yeah.
So do you want to do your whole thing or just one?
We'll go
one.
person by person, round by round.
Okay. Yeah. My hot food would be chicken wings. Just buffalo chicken wings.
Simple
damn.
man.
Can't go wrong with them.
He's a
It's a simple guy. You know.
God
Toss
damn.
in. Toss in.
Huh?
Toss in.
I'd probably go. I'd probably go tossed out just in case.
He's a
So
dry
we have
guy.
multiple sauces. I don't want to hold. I don't want to hold
Obviously,
the boys
ranch on
back.
the side. Ranch
Yeah,
on the side.
yeah, ranch, and then there's gonna be buffalo. There's gonna be barbecue. There's gonna be multiple different sauces, but I want they stay extra crispy without the
Bone
sauce
in?
on them.
Bone out.
Oh, definitely bone in.
He's a bone-in guy.
He's
Come
a
on.
bone-in guy.
He likes his real wings.
Well, you guys both did chicken. I was originally going to say.
Oh, no. I don't want to hear what I was originally going to say and what I'm going to say. You got to say one thing.
All right, I'll say.
You don't get
I
any
gotta check.
exceptions.
I probably do a nice chicken parmesan.
Chicken parm.
I do a little chicken parm.
That's fine.
Yeah, I originally was going to do a fried chicken sandwich from Woody's and make them into sliders, but you guys, I did a different type of chicken,
And
even though it's still
Andy
the same
gave us
vein.
two. Andy gave us two.
Cold
gave
now?
us two.
Should we snake draft it? Cold?
Yeah,
Snake it.
cold food.
If I'm going to do cold food, it's not going to be.
Doesn't have to-
It won't be
doesn't have to
potato salad.
Yeah, just like any like non-heatable. Just it could be another entree, but just doesn't. Just not.
All right, so I'll take a strawberry jelly uncrustable, cold, and then if there was a campfire around with a nice oven, and then I would crisp it up for a nice, pseudo cold meal.
That does
would
sound
be it.
Semi-dessert
top-notch.
also. It's a semi-dessert.
Semi. Is dessert another option on this list?
There's a snack/candy, but that's
At the end.
Oh.
Wait your turn.
Yeah.
That's a good. I respect that choice.
I'll take it. I think it's.
What you got,
I'm always
Spence?
strawberry over grape.
I would rock with a just like a giant sub of an Italian sandwich, like an Italian sandwich giant sub.
Let's talk meats. What kind of meats are you talking about?
I'm talking the Italian, like you got the salami, whatever else comes on of those 3 different meats, whatever.
Gabagool.
Yeah, the gabagool.
I think.
Probably, yeah,
I think we're all on the same page.
And then I would, dice it up into little mini sandwiches, so then anyone could just walk up and grab it and eat
That's
it.
pretty solid.
yeah,
That's good
family
finger
style.
food.
Good finger, cold.
I'm also on the sandwich game. We went uncrustable, sub, broken up. I'm also on the sandwich game. I'm gonna get a little dirtier than both of you though.
Sloppy Joe.
This is kind of like my home.
He's going back-to-back sandwiches.
This is what I like. I was raised on this. This is not going to sound appeasing to many listeners, but you give me, oh boy, I'm going to get dirty with it. You give me,
You can get whatever you want.
you
too.
give me 2 pieces
You're
of white
famous.
bread. This is cold food. 2 pieces of white bread. Give me
Yes.
2 pieces of thick bologna and 2 pieces of single craft
He loses.
craft cheese.
He lost.
And then you give me a fat slab of mayo. I just want a bologna and cheese sandwich with mayo, baby.
I mean, I'm not going to take that away from you.
I'm not.
at
Getting,
all.
I'm not putting any input in that. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you choose your next item, which
it.
is a candy/snack.
Boy was raised on bologna and cheeses. Candy snack. First thing that comes to mind, gas station snack would have. I guess I only get one here. I'll go straight from the hip. Straight from the hip. I have more favorite snacks than this, but when I think snack, I think combos.
Respect.
Combos.
Combos and lifetime.
Can we get
lifesaver-
specific? Pepperoni, cheddar cheese.
I will go like the pizza pepperoni.
Pizza pepperoni. And do you not suck the filling out before you crunch down on that pretzel?
I'm dynamic with my bag. I eat it all kinds of ways.
Okay, I like that. You definitely got to do a little sucky out of the straw. All right. What's up, snack boy?
I would probably, this is one that I don't know, but I would probably go. First thing that caught my mind is the little mini pink, red, and then there's like another pink mini strawberry or Starburst.
You talking about tropical? Or you talking about original?
The Starburst. There's just like a Ziploc
certain-
bag. You'll find them at the gas or the gas
Oh, the
station.
full pink boys.
Yeah, but like the little mini ones, like they're like this big.
Unwrapped.
Yeah,
No
the
paper.
unwrapped. Yeah, just
You
like a
fist
full
fold 'em.
bowl for that.
Yeah.
You just walk up, grab a handful. That's what I would ride with.
Okay, so
Respect.
am I restricted to sweets, or is this a sweet and salty
Snack
subcategory?
/ candy. Yeah.
Listen to the prompt.
All right, so let's think.
kidding.
I would probably. I mean, if I'm looking for a snack,
I know.
Let's say-
This one's really hard to not say like two things.
I know. I'm gonna go with sweet. Because I did a couple salty boys. I would go sweet. I had to go with like $100,000 bar. And if there's a bag of fun size $100,000,
Who are these boys? These guys
I'm
bologna
sorry.
sandwiches.
You guys don't like nougat? You don't like fucking pretzel? You don't like caramel, dude?
That's
$100,000.
That's a take 5.
It's just a little crunchy for me.
Take 5 has the pretzel. $100,000 has the peanuts.
like the Rice Krispies.
No Rice Krispie. That's bullshit. I don't want that. Snake me back though. What's the next round?
Next round is your drink of choice for the room.
Drink of choice. And
Alcoholic or non?
And then what's
Definitely,
the snake?
whether you want it or not.
What's the snake after the last one?
Miscellaneous?
Cool.
All right. So my drink of choice is going to be KCT. You guys know KCT?
I do not.
Kansas City tea, baby. It is Henny, a little bit, some Sprite, and then some lemon. Fire. I was gonna cook that up for you boys for Weemertuck. Yes. All my ghetto boys from Southside High School represent. And Fort Wayne. That was our drink of choice. KCT, baby. There's a song. I don't know it off the top of my head, but
KCT.
The viewers, if you know what the song is, put it in the comments. But yeah, that's my drink of choice. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely 100% rock light beer. There's just nothing better than good old-fashioned light beer.
We need brand.
I'm going to go. I know it's a controversial topic, but I'm doing it.
Don't say it. Don't you dare say it.
Bud Light. That's the drink of that's the beer choice. I don't care what they say.
We support Dylan.
I don't.
Somebody supports
I don't
Dylan
discriminate at
Mulvaney.
all. I will say that's going to be the light beer choice. If you give me a Miller Lite, you give me a Coors Light, will I complain? Absolutely not.
I feel that.
But I would grab the Bud Light case first.
That hurts.
Rendissimo?
Well, if we're thinking optimal drink of choice here, I'm thinking, what do I like out of lights? What do I like out of IPAs? And what do I like if I'm getting like cocktail in the sense of like
this is your
whiskey,
greener
soda, etc. I'm just gonna go straight up with you. I'm gonna say, give me my favorite kind of beer. Actually, I'm gonna say, give me my favorite kind of drink, alcohol. Give me my favorite kind of alcohol, beer. Give me my favorite kind of beer, Indian Pale Ale.
Ooh.
Give me my favorite IPA.
IPA is Indian Pale Ale, no?
Yeah, Indian Pale Ale. Give me my favorite IPA.
Yeah.
Gonna have to be a Maplewood or a Pipeworks Brewery IPA.
Pipeworks, where are they at?
They both of them are Chicago breweries. They both make about 3 IPAs.
Fuck yeah.
Lizard King is a Pipeworks one. Maplewood.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Maplewood
Nice.
is another one. Or excuse me, Charlatan is a Maplewood one. I like them all, so I would say IPA. I would say an IPA from
Nice.
Chicago.
Snake it back,
And then
Miscellaneous,
to snake
baby.
it back, I already got my snake back. Miscellaneous on this, bro. Come on. I'm going downtown Indianapolis. Nicest steakhouse in the city.
St. Elmo's.
Fatty New York strip steak. Asparagus. Baked potato.
Love that.
Catering order.
And mashed potatoes.
Fuck yeah.
That's my
I
meal.
am going in a complete opposite direction. I had
Let's hear
two things.
Let's hear it.
I had two things, as I was doing this that caught my mind. And
two things?
First,
I've got another thing.
It first came with the light beer. What comes with a light beer? Beer pong. But I said no. And I decided, is there anything better being at the bar with your boys, bringing the bar to the green room with your boys?
Not much.
Other than a game of freaking Big Buck Hunter. Give me a Big Buck Hunter machine. Let me shoot away. I want the one where I can choose from whether I want deer, moose, gazelle, whatever it
Squirrels.
is. I want that version. Put it in the
Let's
room,
go.
wheel it in, and unlimited quarters. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Fuck
All
it.
right.
I'll pay for the quarters. I don't care.
I didn't realize the
Miscellaneous
scope
is
that
not food related,
Yeah,
supposedly.
I didn't realize the scope in which that.
I mean, you're just
Covered.
thinking about your green room. This boy's eating and drinking. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, option 5 for me. Yeah, give me more food.
Yeah.
So I guess
But
if
maybe Dua Lipa, on stage with Dua Lipa would have been up there.
That would have been that would have been a nice.
Or like
Miscellaneous.
Ray Charles on stage while I'm singing type thing.
With eyesight, and he has eyesight.
Well, we'll get into that on the next pod, but I think he might have eyesight. But anyway,
Faking it.
You've seen those. Have you not seen those conspiracies?
No, but I could. That would.
Conspiracy will be a topic on the next
We
episode.
should do a conspiracy episode.
Let's do it.
Miscellaneous wise, I would probably do.
Now
I'd probably do like a giant like blow up pool of like chocolate pudding, and then grab some groupies from the crowd, obviously because we're like a huge rock band. I'm assuming in this sense.
Like 38 special.
38 special, Weemattuck special, all these things, and just send like a group of like two stout, like 45-year-old men into the middle to find a ping pong ball under the chocolate.
Wait, so you went two 45-year-old males wrestling in the pudding?
Of course. He does.
Exactly 45 years old because that's the optimal body weight and the distribution. Yeah, I think I
Answer
want
weight.
those guys. They got to wrestle, and then we send in a fleet of 15 hot tamales into the pool to wrestle the two men.
What?
Yeah, dude. It's like
I don't know how miscellaneous this gets, but I don't know. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if you can ask for that anywhere if you're on the Tonight Show or you're anywhere. But I respect. I
want it.
I respect where you're going. Yeah.
I'm not going on the show unless I get two 45-year-old men and 15 miscellaneous hot tamales fighting for a ping pong ball.
I respect
Golden Snitch.
I respect the depth.
Golden snitch. Yes, exactly. It's going to be a golden snitch amongst the pudding.
I highly respect the depth of your creativeness there.
I mean,
But even more so, I respect our guest.
That might have been
Spencer.
worse than a bologna sandwich.
don't put that on me.
All right.
Don't put that on
Just like that.
We're about to compliment the guy.
I respect it. I respect it.
We're going to come in and come out.
But you also respect that hard-earned baloney as well.
Yeah.
Bologna.
That was a good question. I love that you brought that.
That was a good
to
one.
the pod.
That's probably the best
That's
thing.
best viewer section so far.
Just above Devin wanting to talk about hemorrhoids.
So
Dude, he came in hot, and we're like, no, we're not talking about that.
this is going to be another hit show. We're going to have some viral clips off Spence for sure.
Yeah.
But I do want to bring in a very popular guest section to the pod, and that's what I would call a Spencer, would you rather?
Yes.
Spencer, would you rather be regarded as the best sports bettor on the planet or be in Tiger Woods' inner circle?
Sports better.
Straight and dry. I
He
love
knows.
it.
He knows what he
Cut and
wants.
dry,
Cash
straight to
money.
the point. Second question. Would you rather have free sports events, including tickets, food, and drinks for the rest of your life, or free flights?
Flights. Give me flights.
Made him think a second longer there.
Give me flights.
Ooh, little
I like
hezzy
it.
hey. Hezzy hey.
And
Flights
last,
are expensive.
last but not least,
Gas ain't getting cheaper.
would you rather own the nicest condo in downtown Chicago or have the sickest ranch cabin plot of land in Wyoming?
Wyoming.
Easy. Yeah.
Give me the land.
I
And,
couldn't
you
even
can
hold
always
myself
live in a
back.
city.
I'm like,
Yeah.
please.
You can do so much more with it out there.
Oh
I had to
God.
balance like, okay, you live here now, so that'd be manageable, but I could see you leaning toward. I mean, you can.
What
get
about what
much
would you
more
what
land.
would you what say we change that to Miami?
Well, I was
You
thinking
had
New
the
York
nice.
City.
Let's say you have the nicest condo in all of
All right,
downtown.
what's your answer to
Yeah,
that?
Miami or Wyoming land.
Because I mean, I'd probably go.
So here,
I'd probably go Miami.
penthouse.
What?
Penthouse in a Miami condo.
Yeah. I mean, like think about being on the having a
Let me phrase
massive
it this way.
spot.
You're
down
going to burn, dude. You're
Let
going to
me-
get skin cancer.
Let me phrase
Yeah,
it
I'll
this
wear a
way.
sun
all right?
shirt.
So you got
scared to wear a shirt in the swimming pool.
You're in the third nicest condo building in Miami. You have the top floor penthouse, or you have, let's just say, a 20,000 square foot mansion cabin in Wyoming. You've got a shooting range. You've got 5 different ATVs and mules.
My God.
a couple dirt bikes.
Yeah, I'm choosing
and
that.
And 2 ponds on the.
Yeah, I'm choosing that. I mean,
Property.
because then you can always just rent a hotel. In
That's what
Miami,
I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
nicest condo in Chicago or Miami, maybe $10 million, $20 million, $10 million out in Wyoming. You can have 20,000 foot house,
Couple horses,
ponds,
couple horses.
ATVs, mules.
Some piglets. Probably some piglets.
You could have a whole barn dedicated to euchre.
You could have a euchre barn that you train piglets to play euchre.
And they could you could get really good playing against them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're also talking like the nicest like condo like in Miami or Chicago. Like they're going to be like 30, 40, 50 million dollars.
That's what I'm saying.
Know
20 million,
you know what I mean?
$20
Like,
million penthouse in Miami or $20 million.
Oh, well, yeah. It would, over there, it goes so much further.
Yeah, you could get a couple ponds, couple piglets,
Couple piglets.
euchre barn.
Do you have an HOA fee or no?
No.
I don't think there's HOA fees in Wyoming.
What about in Chicago or Miami?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
If you bought
Well, I'm not paying HOA fee.
What do we think HOAs
out
go
there.
for? $40
Send me out
million
west.
condo, probably $5,000 a month. No, maybe like
That sounds right.
$2,000, $3,000 a month.
I would guess like 5% of the overall.
A small, I
Stupid.
mean, like a $400,000 or $500,000 place has like a freaking
It's unbelievable.
$1,000
Unbelievable.
And then, yet your light fixtures are all leaking with gasoline and like nothing's fixed.
And that's why we decided to live in Chicago, folks.
Holla.
We love paying HOAs here.
Holla.
That about does it for me. You guys got any last
all I
thoughts? We're sitting here. Cubs are down 1, bottom of the 7th.
They'll come back.
Halftime of the Jersey Carolina game. New Jersey's down 2, 3-1, going into the third period. And we got Boston up 6 points going into halftime against Philly.
Much appreciation to our guest today, Spencer Bruns.
Shout out
Thanks
to the
for
boys.
making it.
Thanks for
the
coming through,
whiskey.
Spence. Thanks
Coming
for
from
wrapping
us
up
to
We
you.
Would Talk with us. We are coming from us to you.
Don't
Coming
forget
from
to
us
like,
to you.
follow, subscribe.
Check us out on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're paying for it, so try to help us out.
Go Devils.
And do you want to take us out?
Peace.
Peace.
Womp womp.